when I was a teenager, I'm sure when I was younger as well, my parents would ask me to do stuff in the house, you know, the common things, the common chores that the kids are often asked to do in the house, like maybe go and set the table, wash the dishes, tidy your room, make your bed, do your homework, that sort of stuff. You've all been there, I'm sure. And my response usually, we'd be doing something else at the time, like watching TV or playing something on the computer. And so the response would often be, yeah, Mum, just now, in a minute. When the adverts come, or when I'm past this level, then I'll come and do it. And you know the result. What usually would be the result of that response. It would be absolutely nothing. I would do, it'd be an excuse to just put her off and eventually not being done. And then I'd get the telling off afterwards. Now, last week, Jesus introduced his disciples to a new way, a new idea about him being Messiah. A Messiah, he said, who would suffer grievously. This is what I was going to do. I'm going to suffer grievously. I will be killed and then rise again on the third day. Something new to them that they hadn't really understood beforehand. And then he spoke to them about being a disciple. And he said, unless you renounce yourself, take up your cross every day and follow me, then you cannot be my disciple. Both those sayings are hard. And today is no different. Jesus is not pulling his punches. He's not talking about the lovely, flowery discipleship, that's like a child's picture with lots of bright colors and lovely houses and smiling faces. Here he's saying to this man, I have no place to lay my head. If you're going to be a disciple, don't expect to feel at home in any place. Our home is in heaven. That's the reality. He was supposed to put him before our family, before our duty to anything else. And these are not easy things to say. And the result is that people will reject him. And this is what happens when they go to the Samaritan town. He is rejected. They don't want him. But actually, it's not him they don't want. And this is something that we do. They actually, it's not that they don't want Jesus. Jesus is going to Jerusalem. And the Jews and the Samaritans hated each other. They would never speak to each other. They would walk on the other side of the road if they met each other on the street. And they didn't want anything to do with each other. Jesus is going to Jerusalem, where he's going to worship God. The Samaritans were not allowed to worship Jerusalem. They weren't allowed to help with the building of the temple. And therefore, that's the root of this, because they intermarried with other people of other faith. And that's the root of this hatred. And so the Samaritans, when Jesus goes to stay at their place, sees a Jew who's going to Jerusalem to worship, which they can't do because these Jews have kicked them out and they're being so nasty to them. And so it is not Jesus they're rejecting. They're rejecting a Jew going to worship in Jerusalem. They are looking at the flesh, they're looking at the earthly, and missing the spiritual, the heavenly. That's what they've missed. Question for parents. Okay, I'm going to be looking for answers. These are not rhetorical questions. Parents, why do you ask your children to clean up? Say, clean the kitchen, wipe down the table, clean their rooms. Why do you ask them to do that? To make them responsible? Okay, good. Any other ideas? Why would we ask them, why would we clean up in the first place? Come on. There's a lot of people here who are very intelligent. To have cleanness in the house? Good. Other reasons to have your kids clean up? Teach them skills. Very good, yes. Prepare for the future life. Very good. Prepare them for the future life. Very good. To be independent. These are great. Now, let's focus on why we'd actually clean in the first place. Sorry? Sign of respect. Cleanliness is next to godliness. And you said, when it's dirty, it's got to be cleaned. Any other reasons? Dirty's got to be cleaned. Why clean it if it's dirty? Cleanliness is next to godliness. Yes, indeed. Pardon? Renew yourself. Practically. Let's get down to brass tacks. Really practical. Why do we clean stuff? Hygiene, infection. Yeah, all of that. Anything else? Okay, that's why we clean. Now tell me, parents, why do you get your kids to do their homework? Why do you say do your homework to the kids? To learn self-discipline. Very good. Anything else? Come on. Future profession. Very good. Practice for what they're going to learn at school. Yes. Oh, I couldn't hear that. So to be able to understand rules and regulations. Very good. So, what am I getting at? Okay, they're watching TV, they're playing their computer game, they're completely enthralled in that, and you say, go and tidy up. You're not saying go and tidy up because you want to punish them and you just don't want them to watch TV. You know that if they don't tidy up and if they don't learn to tidy up, actually, the place becomes a mess, it starts to smell, they start to smell, the insects start to get in, disease, and life just becomes really, really awful. Yes? Amen? Right, so it's not for now, you're not cleaning them for now, it's cleaning for, well, now and for the future. And when you ask your kids to study, they're learning all sorts of things. Do they want to study when they're playing games and watching TV? No. But if they do study, then they know, or you know, hopefully they'll know, that they'll get a good result at school, they'll be able to get a good job, good money, they'll be able to look after, and all the benefits that come from hard work and study. Yes? Amen? But we tend to look at, I'm having fun on my computer. I'm enjoying this now. And that stuff isn't fun. I don't like the idea of that. And we get fixed on that, and we fail to see the bigger picture. And it's the same with Jesus. We can get caught up in, oh my, I have to renounce myself and carry my cross every day. I don't like the sound of that. I've got to put Jesus first above my family and friends and my work and everything else. I don't like the idea of that. And we get caught up in the flesh, and there's this battle between the flesh and the spirit, between the earthly and the heavenly, and we get dragged down by the flesh and the earthly, and we get fixated on that and fail to see the heavenly and the spiritually. We fail to see Jesus. We fail to see that in following him, actually it's not just something for the future. Yes, if I follow him, then there's life eternal. As the psalm says here, you will show me the fullness of the path of life, the fullness of joy in your presence. At your right hand, happiness forever. And this is something we can look forward to. But it's not only to that future that we look forward to. It's also, it begins here. It begins here and now. These people, let me go and bury my father first. Let me go and say goodbye to my people at home. They were saying to the Lord, actually, Lord, the first man, I've got to go and wait for my father to die first, and then I've got to bury him, and then I'll wait till I get my inheritance. I want to sort my life out first before I come and follow you. I've got other things to do that are more important. And we can do that. Lord, I'll follow you. Just before I die of old age, I'll wait till I'm 82 and then I'll start following you. And really, what these people are doing is they are rejecting Jesus. They're rejecting him. Why are they rejecting him? And we're rejecting him when we do that. Because I have a choice between continuing to watch TV or play my computer games and do this hard work. I don't want to do that hard work. I want to play my computer game. I want to continue watching TV. I'm going to say, Mom, I'll do it later because I don't want to. I don't want to do it. And I don't want to do it because I've missed the reality. Fixed on the earthly, the flesh, and I don't see who it really is, what it is really I'm doing. The Lord is calling you today to follow him. That's what he's doing. He's saying to you today, follow me. And the question is, what is your response? Is it going to be the response of these men, later, Lord? I've got better things to do just now. Or do we, as Elisha has done, respond, burn the past, and begin to follow, entrusting our lives to him? When we walk with him, we have freedom. We experience the fullness of life, joy in his presence, beginning now and going on forever. Let's not be like these two young men. Let's respond. Let's give him our yes. Here I am, Lord. Take me.